Welcome to Reaching Out. I'm Gregory Floyd, President Local 237 Teamsters. Our guest today is Councilman James Sanders from the 31st Council District in Queens. Councilman, welcome to the show.
A pleasure to be here, my President. It's always a joy to be with you.
Thank you. Tell us a little bit about your community and the people you represent in New York City.
Well, I represent the best people in New York City, and these people are located in Southeast Queens. Every time you land in Kennedy Airport, for that moment, you're a constituent of mine, and we take care of you there. I represent people in Laurelton, Springfield Gardens, Rosedale, the Rockaways, and I think I've named them all, and it is a beautiful place to live. It's the wealthiest part of the city for the African Americans. In fact, it's the only part of America where black people earn more than white people. According to the Department of Census, this is the only part of America where that is true for a certain census district.
Wow, so you have wealthy constituents.
I have very wealthy constituents, and I have very poor constituents. Many of my poorer constituents live in the Rockaways, where I also live, a part that has many housing developments, which I'm sure you're familiar with, you and your members.
Sure. Matter of fact, you go back to the 80s, in early 90s, they were talking about building a casino out there. Remember those days?
I remember them well. Yeah. So many casino dreams have gone up in smoke in my part of town.
Yeah, they were talking about making the Rockaways like Atlantic City, but that never came to fruition.
Well, I'm glad they didn't, because if you really do the study on Atlantic City, the people who used to live in Atlantic City really lost out, and they were kicked out.
Yes.
It's a new population, and I'd rather that not happen. I'd rather smart growth where we can all grow.
How are your constituents doing in these hard economic times?
We are being disproportionately impacted. A recession has really devastated us. Many of my constituents, especially in the mainland section, the Laurelton, the Rosedale, Springfield, work for government services, and government is cutting back. So many of them are working, and therefore they're getting their pink slips and really being hurt. And of course, in the Rockaways, many of my constituents never got out of the hole, and now the hole seems to be made deeper. We're hurting, and we need to do something about jobs quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Now, you mentioned something out, and I had that for later in the program, but we might as well bring it up now. But I also want to touch on two subjects, not in any particular order. One, your constituents work for governments, and right now, any government employee, including city employees, state employees, government employees, are all under attack for no reason whatsoever, but they had and have good jobs and pensions.
Yes, this question of pensions keeps coming up, and I'm exploring it more. And I also understand that yes, the pensions have the value of the pensions have increased, but at the same time, when the market was booming, the city did not put the necessary monies back into it. They didn't fulfill their share of this pension issue, which is really unfair to blame the workers totally now when the city didn't do its part earlier.
We don't mind making sacrifices, but we don't want to be the sacrifice.
Nicely put, Mr. President. This is not a Madison Avenue driven idea to have us lose what few dollars we have. Get ready to fight in the future, my friends. If you want peace, you're going to have to fight for it. If you want justice, justice is not free. Freedom isn't free. And we're going to have to go back to old ways and new ways to let these same old guys who've been robbing us blind for years know that we're not on the giveaway program, that we are just not the designated loser of the world.
Very well put. You've been listening to Reaching Out. This segment, Councilman James Sanders from the 31st District in Queens. I'm Gregory Floyd. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.